this video is going to be a little different than our typical podcast, which we still will have later this week. I'm doing an independent review on one of my favorite comic books, Batman Earth 1 Year 1, written by Jeff Johns and beautifully illustrated by Gary Frank. This book was first released in 2012 and currently, as of June 2021, has 2 subsequent sequels. Batman Earth 1 does not take place in the main DC continuity. Instead, it's an Elseworlds book, or I guess a black label, depends on whatever DC wants to call it nowadays. DC's Earth 1 series of comics do not release in a traditional monthly issue. Instead, they are in graphic novel form, therefore take much longer to come out, and that was definitely apparent with Batman Earth 1. First volume was released back in 2012, and we just passed its 9th anniversary. Volume 2 was later released in 2015, and after so many years of waiting, we have finally received Volume 3 just last June. And I swear, DC, if I don't get an Outsiders Earth 1 or a Batman Volume 4, I'm gonna flip my shit. But I digress. The reason I'm so passionate about this book is because of how amazingly it's written and drawn. This book reinvents the first outing of Bruce Wayne as Batman. He is a young 20-something-year-old who's not as well trained and prepared as we typically see our Caped Crusader. This is well established in the first few panels, where we see the Dark Knight chasing down a crook across the rooftops of Gotham. The crook makes an immaculate jump across the building. Batman pulls out his grapple gun to swing across to the next building, but when he tries to use it, the grappling hook clunks out on him. It's definitely something where we haven't really seen this kind of Batman before. The really cool thing, though, is that it's still Batman, so he's still going to try to take down the criminal. So he tries to make his jump across the building, and funny enough, he misses the ledge and falls into a pile of garbage because he's just starting. This is just one of the examples how this universe is different than our typical one. Other changes have to do with other of the side characters, such as Alfred, who, in this one, is a hardened war vet who gave Bruce all of his training. Another is Detective James Gordon, who at the beginning seems to be in on the take of the corrupt GCPD, although he is challenged by his new partner, who just arrived in Gotham, a very handsome and Hollywood TV star named Harvey Bullock. There are many more changes in this universe, such as how the Arkhams, the creator of Arkham Asylum, are linked to Bruce Wayne and the city. The art in this book by Gary Frank is most definitely some of the best I've ever seen. The way Gary Frank captures what it feels and real emotions of fictional characters is just outstanding, and it's some of my favorite. There is definitely a stylistic choice made for this book that I have not seen in others, and it has to do with Batman. You're able to see Bruce Wayne's eyes through his cowl. One good example of this is back to the grappling hook scene. When it clunks out on him, you could see Batman's eyes make the fuck kind of face, which it definitely sets the scene to be pretty comedic in this one. A short synopsis of the book is that Bruce Wayne is just starting his career as a crime fighter, and he is on the vendetta to find his parents' killer. And, well, I'll leave it up to you guys to read the rest of the book to see what happens next. As a warning to all, and to younger viewers, this book is not for the faint of heart. It does definitely deal with extreme mature content, especially when dealing with the main villain of the book, which is called the Birthday Boy. He is a mentally ill strong man, to say the least. It does allude to certain acts such as murder and other heinous crimes that he commits, and he is a hitman for a character that is a surprise. But to those who are of age and looking for an amazing Batman book that you don't need to know much about the character, or actually just a great Batman book in general, I'd highly recommend Batman Earth 1. And I know it's a short video, we're only under 5 minutes, but this is just something that new we wanted to try out as a channel. So if you guys have any comments on this type of video, other books you like me to go over and just give a brief little synopsis, I'd love to hear your comments down below. And if you read the book, let me know what you thought. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and thank you all.